Sigh of the Storm is brought to you by Revelton Distilling Company. You can visit them in Osceola, Iowa, or on the web at www.reveltondistillery.com.
Welcome to Sigh of the Storm. In the Sigh of the Storm, I'm your host, George Trice, with my co-host Brent Curvey and Marcus Pfizer out here today. I'm sorry, I'm a little under the weather. I was just talking to the fellas before we started recording. So if you look into my eyes, tell me what it is you see. It's a line from Bone Thugs, but that's how I'm feeling right now. So I have my beverage in here because they say whiskey helps clear stuff out. Revelton, thank you.
Right.
So, how y'all doing today?
Doing
Alive,
good.
man.
I got mine just because it tastes good.
Yeah.
Not only because they sponsors, but it tastes good.
I think I'm in need of another bottle. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't know how many I can ask for, but I'm just saying
But
a couple in.
They got different flavors too, and different strengths and everything like that. So Three Beers Media, we running low on our shipment. We want to try some other variations. I like it, and they sponsor us, so we doing the double-edged sword right there. So nice. But I did want to take, before we really get into the banter and everything, I did want to take and have a moment of silence, about 10 seconds, 5 seconds, for the UVA players. We talk about it being more than just football, and they were on a trip, and 5 individuals were injured, 3 died in that melee of shooting up that bus. So I just want to take a moment of silence for them. No doubt. Their coach was talking in this. I'm gonna read a quote from him. He said, "You prepare for this job. There's no chapter on something like this. So I'm just trying to figure out how to be strong for these young men." Those are the true words were never spoken, and you don't expect something like that to happen. I haven't read all the story, but I've been hearing that there was some news of this person, talking about having a gun before. So there was some other things that no action was taken. And I don't know if that's true or not. So I'm not here to debate on what's true or not. But that's just some of the things that have been coming out. And so more will get clear as it goes. But, those young men and that team, I don't even know if they're going to play this weekend as they mourn their fallen brothers. So, yeah.
It's
That'd be
unfortunate,
tough, man.
Definitely tragic. For something like that to occur anytime something like that occurs, especially
Mhm.
to young individuals, young souls, young promising young adults. Like you said, we don't know the total backstory. Don't know if we will ever have the total backstory, but those are souls that are gone, and those are two more individuals were injured. So that's going to forever affect and change their lives as well.
Mhm.
Um, but no matter what it is, like, somebody dropped the ball somewhere. I've been hearing something of, I think his dad said something along the lines of, there's a little bullying going on there, or he felt,
Mhm.
somewhere, and like we've both said before, George, we don't know the dynamic of how big the football locker room is.
Mhm.
Brent is the only one who can tell us a little bit about that, but on the basketball locker room, if any like thing like that occurred, we try to nip that in the bud because, first of all, we're team and we should be brothers, and it shouldn't be. It doesn't matter where you are on the total pole or on the depth chart and things like that. We still need to take care of each other. And right now, the climate that we're in America and in the world, period, with so much hate and the assets of guns and things are so easy to get right now. You never know what anyone is going to do. Um, I'm sure those guys didn't assume that day were going to be their last day. I mean, no one ever feels that way. No one ever knows that. But it's a tragedy that has happened. It's a tragic event that has happened, and hopefully we can continue to learn from these things, and something can change really quick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
that's a tough dynamic, man. Just thinking about, you said something, Marcus, just talking about the locker room itself. And I'm thinking about me being a high school coach now and some of the kids, like we have kids now that I think just aren't emotionally capable of being able to discern a joke versus, a reality, right? So when you're around your brothers, you can always, joan on them, talk noise, and it's, you take it, you dish it right back. But it's a lot of kids that nowadays cannot take it. So it's like, I can give it, but I can't take it. So when you give it to me, I'm ready to fly off the edge. And it's unfortunate, but like you said, somewhere along the line, it's a ball that was dropped. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if it has, something to do with, at home, if there's a way you can condition your kids to not, the old saying with sticks and stones may break my bones or words never hurt me. So I don't know if it's if it starts at home, to help kind of build some more self-confidence in a lot of these young men and people in general, or, if it's all the stuff that they see on their devices. I think that's what.
So you just are about to you mentioned where I was about to go, and I look at this, and when we were growing up, we didn't have access. If you got into a fight on the block, that stayed on your block. It stayed on your street. The 10 people that was there witnessing you either whipping or getting whooped. That's all they really knew. And then maybe they go to school or something like that. But when nowadays, these things, they last forever. It's out there, something happens. And I think a lot of these people snap, whether it's bullying or whatever, but it lives forever on that social media. And it's like it was a cartoon. Ron's Gone Wrong. I got kids, so Ron's Gone Wrong. They talk about something, and the girl is called Poop Girl, and she's like is devastated because she had all these followers, and now she's called Poop Girl. And it's just like you think about that, it changes that dynamic. You got all these followers, and you're popular, and then something that happens negatively can change all that. And then how do you react? And again, before we had the newspaper is how we got our news. Our grandmama called us and said, "Did you hear Miss Haddon down the street? They made some cookies for you if you want to go get them. How you know about that? I smelt them when they was cooking them. Oh, okay. But you heard it that way. But it's like it's just so and people are so sensitive right now. We're in a very sensitive world right now because people don't know how to just, like you said, the jawing back and forth. When you with your boys and you say some stuff, you take it. You can respectfully disagree. You can get mad at each other, but you go out off the court, out of the locker room. You still gonna be homies, But people are real sensitive right now.
Yeah, and that's an unfortunate thing. Like we said, lives have been lost, and you never wanted to come to that. You actually never wanted to come to where it's any kind of violence, anything like that. But the time that we're living in now, the first thing that people think about is just grabbing a gun. I don't even remember a lot of fights growing up, but I grew up in Detroit. There's a lot of, gun violence and stuff that's going on around drugs and things like that. But, I never hung around anything like that. So I was blessed enough not to see that. But, at the same time with our friends that we hung with, we were a good group of kids. Our parents pretty much kept us in line and try to keep us away from that type of a life. And,
Brent, did he cut out on your side?
Yeah, I can't hear nothing.
Marcus, we can't hear you, my brother.
You hear me?
Yeah.
We hear you now. Yep. We know you were saying something profound, but we lost you for a second.
Yeah, I think too many of these kids are on Robux and stuff,
Oh, so and where are we gonna go? You know what? I'm not even gonna we talk about that. We get too serious right now. I'm gonna lighten it up. We got a lot of people calling and texting and liking the fact that B Hawk was on here last week.
Yeah.
We said we were gonna auction off a ball for some donations and things like that. But B Hawk, we appreciate you jumping on. I'm sure you're gonna get your bottle of Revelton here soon. I think Ship is sending it out there. Three Beers Media is sending it out there to you. Hope you enjoy like we enjoy. Why do we always take a sip every time we say Revelton?
Got to.
Man, it's how I think that's a part of it.
Yeah, I mean, and I gotta apologize. I don't have my beard on. I know it's 3 beers and there's 3 of us. I just got to go tea, so I gotta get the beard in, but mine don't grow all the way in. I got patches, so I can't do it. But
Hey, Paul Pierce did it for you.
look like a rat. It's like you look at one of them scroungy rats and stuff. But I'm going to share because I said that I was going to do this live, and so Denny Ryan and Nate Hawkins are the only 2 people that donated. Hey, that's $75 right there to go to a good cause. So, it's, outside the cost of the ball and all the shipping and everything, a couple of dollars come back to the foundation, which is all we can ask for. So, Nate, you put in $50. You got 10 entries into here. I can count them if you want me to. You and your name in here 10 times. Denny, you did 25. Well, actually, Denny did 26 because there was a glitch in the system, and he sent me a message. Don't let me do $1. So, Denny, for that one, I'm gonna put you in there one more time because there was a glitch, and so you get in there one more time. So, while we live, I'm gonna hit this button and pick a random name, and this person, one of y'all's gonna get this ball. So here we go. Pick a random name. Picking it. Randomly picked name is Nate Hawkins. So here it is right here. I hit the button, Nate Hawkins. So Nate, you are the winner of the signed Brandon Hawkins basketball. So, I will reach out to you and I will get your information and I will send that ball out to you. If I get it from you by this week, it will come out to you this week. If not, it will come out to you after the holiday. So appreciate y'all actually listening to the podcast. I mean, 2 people listen to our podcast, right? I mean, we had 2 people. That's a start. We need more of y'all to listen. Next time I'm going to do $1 per entry, just so we can see how many people we get in there that time. But appreciate y'all listening. We started it off. Marcus's ball went for 300. So just let you know, Marcus, how much yours went for. You beat out. You was at a tie with Reggie. So Reggie's football and your basketball came out to the most. And then Mike Nurse and Tony Yelk was after that. Marcel,
okay.
Marcel Howard, he was in there too. Like I said, Nurse, yeah. So I had a couple people send me some things. Tony even sent me some signed pictures of him when he was playing. So I sold a few of those at my first golf event. So Tony Yelk, appreciate you, my brother, for always supporting me, man. But yeah, so we had to think about that. So because we were starting off basketball season, so we ain't gonna get there yet. We lost. So 2023 schedule. So next year, we're looking forward to next. No, I'm joking. I want to go to next year so bad, man. But we still got 2 games. We still have a chance to get to a bowl game. If we win this Saturday, I'm going to do my best to get to that after Thanksgiving game. I'm going to do my best to see TCU because I want to support y'all in trying to whoop TCU. But it's been a hard season. After that good game, we talked him up. We told him what he needed to do. And which one of y'all want to start? I can't start. Which one of y'all want to start?
I mean, I'm gonna tell you, I don't think that they listening to us for one. I don't think they listen to the pod. I don't think they're number 3 or 4. Deckers is, but Denny Ryan actually came in the store. He said, "You said we needed 21 points to win," and I was like, "Damn, I sure did. We needed 21 to win." But that just that's how good our defense is, man. And I know the Big 12 is tough. They play defense up and down, but you would think we can scrape out 3 touchdowns somewhere. And I feel like we're a team that can manage that. But for whatever reason, we just can't. Now we had 5 turnovers this week, I think it was. We still had a chance to win the ball game.
We did. We it was down to the we had
We
a
actually should have
chance.
won. Yeah.
We had more than 3 opportunities to win that game.
Yep.
You know, and I'm gonna let y'all keep going on this, but we are in the Big 12, 10 teams in the Big 12 right now. We are number 1 in defense and number 10 in offense.
Mm-hmm.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
That is a problem, and something needs to be fixed. Because we got 26 touchdowns for the year. TCU has 53. They doubled us up. The Kansas State is number 9, and they have 12 more touchdowns than us. So there's a minus 12 differential right there. You know, that's not a good look right now. What do we need to do on this offense? I mean, we could talk up the defense. What do we need to do from the offense?
Well, I mean, that's hard to say. I mean, once you, as players, you start hearing things about, you know, it's a rebuilding year and yada, yada, yada. And you don't want to accept and take that as a rebuilding year. You want to, you know, prove that we're out here right now and we can win right now. Sometimes we try to do too much. Sometimes we want to do too much. Sometimes the little things are overlooked, and then, you know, they manifest to being big things in the end. I saw the stat where they said, you know, how good Iowa State is nationally on the defensive side of the ball. But on the offensive side of the ball, we just can't move the ball. We've been in some big games. We've been in all the games pretty much. We just hadn't been able to, you know, get the ball across the goal line as much as we would have hoped. So hopefully with this rebuilding year, you know, things do get figured out going forward a little bit better and going into the next year. So it's going to be tough.
So let me ask you this question. You know, I made the joke about the fact that we got 2 more games and we still can be bowl eligible. The way our offense has been playing, and I'm gonna put some doubt in these boys. Like, we can't match up to TCU. Well, looking at TCU, how we played, not to throw shade at our guys, TCU is a beast.
Yeah.
And so with that, knowing that it's going to be a very long uphill battle for that last game this year, knowing that it could potentially make us bowl eligible or not, we have 5 quarterbacks on our roster. We have one that's a senior, Blake Clark. We got a couple other freshmen, and then a sophomore and a junior. Do we need to put a new quarterback out there or switch up on what we do with our tight ends, our running back? Do we need to make these changes and get other people in to evaluate others, especially like, you know, Blake? I know he's a senior. He's from Des Moines. He's a senior. His time is done. You know, he's not gonna shine in these 2 games to get him anywhere if that's where he wanted to go. But some of these other guys, do we start throwing them into the mix and seeing what we have and evaluating them in live game situation while we're having this season we're having? Brent, I'm gonna start with you.
No.
And
I say that because, I mean, you know, Blake's a senior. Love to maybe see him get some snaps on senior day, whatever. But I think we got a couple of really good freshmen, and I don't want to lose red shirts on them. Just to throw them out there for a couple of games and give them some of that in-game experience. I think that offensively, we got to be more disciplined. We have way too many offsides penalties on offense, or false starts, and holding penalties. So a lot needs to be cleaned up with our front 5. Like, our offensive line they're not doing that well because teams are teeing off on us. We're getting in passing situations, and I mean, we got to be the most sacked team, I believe, in the Big 12, damn near the country, if I'm not mistaken. So that talks a lot to what we got up front. So we need to plug in more pieces up front too. And I think that would help with, you know, some of Hunter's, what we call the clock, because every quarterback has a clock in his head. I know if I don't have this ball out in 4 seconds, somebody's getting to me. Well, when I don't get protection, now that 4 went down to like 3, maybe 2.5, 3 seconds. That ain't good. So you speeding up a kid that's, you know, has to get out here and make these throws. And, you know, he's trying to force things that aren't there. And you got some of those interceptions where drop balls from our receivers.
Yes.
You talk about it's just consistency across the board, man. We got to get discipline. I think we're lacking as a team in discipline wholeheartedly, and that's what's really beating our offense up. We got to knock it off.
Yeah, at this point, this far into the season, there's not that much that's going to change that the coaching staff wouldn't have identified talent-wise or scheme-wise in practice. This far we've come. Definitely, we never seen a season like this. I mean, but at any rate, I'm out here in Vegas, and I would assure you that the Raiders didn't foresee a season like this out here. I mean, it's been bad, but the talent is there. We understand things just aren't clicking somewhere. And at this point, like Brett said, you don't want to lose red shirts on guys that can have the eligibility of those years coming forward. You just gotta ride the ship out for what it is right now, and just understand that these last couple of games we got to be as good as we can be. There is still something to play for, and hopefully we can pull that out. But at the same time, to just erase everything and just trying to throw something different out there, that's when guys start getting hurt and yada 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 and all that. So you don't want to put together something like that and it's all for naught.
Okay. So we stick with what we got.
Yeah.
We got to play through. They got to do better. You said something, Brent, about the time, and I mentioned this I think in one of our first podcasts about the Urban Meyer theory of 4 to 6, A to B. I look at like Tom Brady, how fast he gets that ball out of his hands. I look at Trevor Lawrence, he gets that ball out of his hands quick. But they also, I mean, they have good lines, and that's NFL. We're talking about NFL. But what I'm saying is he has to get that ball out quicker and read a little bit quicker and be sure in the throws that he's going to make. Again, we see that he's unsure. The receivers have not helped him the way that they should be helping him, because they should be dropping these balls like they are. They are good thrown. The balls that are being touched, it's not like they're horrendous balls. They're great balls that are getting right to the point, and these receivers aren't catching. So it's not all on Deckers. It's on our receiving core as well, as you said, Brett.
Yeah. I mean, it just as a whole, man. That's why I said we need a lot more discipline. That's why our defense plays so well, because they're very disciplined. They may bend at times. They will, there may be a play that they let out the gate, because, I mean, it's happened the past 2 weeks, I believe. Maybe
83-yard play last week.
So they're going to let one go. Okay,
Yeah.
They're going to bend. You know what I'm saying? They're going to bend, but they never break. So they're still staying below that, that 3 touchdown threshold. And it's, you would think 3 touchdowns isn't a lot to ask, but for some, maybe it is. But I mean, we had too many chances, man. I just see that touchdown that my man Noel dropped. Like, the ball was so perfectly thrown to him. And I think that's what he was like, oh yeah, this is it. No, it's not it. It's not it. Like,
Got too excited for it. You're right. You're right. But again, we got 2 games for them to show what they're really made of. Now, again, if they pull these 2 games out, of course, I'm gonna be at the bowl game. I'm at every bowl game. I try to be at every bowl game. I think I've missed one of the bowl games that we've been in. So I will be there supporting them. And again, I will be there supporting them all the time. I just like to start some controversy a little bit to see if people listening. But I just think that, again, like you said, the discipline, because even on that 83-yard mess up on defense that we let them score on last week, the defense bounced back. They realized what they did. They talked on the sidelines. I think, like, you look at the sidelines, you see them pat Deckers on the butt. Good. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Like that. And then they leave them be. I don't think that the offense is talking on them sidelines to each other as much as they should be. I think they should be communicating better, because it goes back to what you said, Marcus, in the basketball locker room, holding each other accountable and talking to each other, and saying, hey, you got to do this, you got to do this. And I don't think that's happening on the sideline from the players. The coaches are doing it, but I think the players have to be holding up their brothers more than they actually are. You said it a couple of times, holding up your brothers. And I think we're lacking that right now. We have the pride, we have the will. We have some weapons, but I don't think the team together is doing what they need to be doing.
Yeah, it starts from within. I mean, you have to police yourselves as athletes, and at this level, you know, you're not going to dominate. It doesn't matter. Look how long Alabama has dominated college football. Now it seems like, you know, shit. We run into Alabama now. I'm like, hey, you know,
We want Bama. You got to decide we want Bama.
you know what I mean? Because the level is so much bigger, but you have to be accountable, and it starts from within yourself. You know, you're the first person to know when you messed up. You know, or no matter what it is, and when you give that to
There's that Roblox again.
Yeah.
Marcus, your kids tell them to get off that Roblox on Tuesday nights.
That's it.
Yeah,
No
Roblox on Tuesday night. You back?
Y'all lost.
Yeah, no Roblox on Tuesday, man. No Roblox.
I think I'm gonna hop off to figure out what's going on.
All right.
Try to figure out what's going on.
Yep. So we lost Marcus Pfizer for a minute, but we gonna keep going because we'd already been on here for like 35 minutes, and I don't want to restart this all over. You know, so you go with the roll with the punches. So, but as we said, you know, we beat that into the ground. You know, we're gonna switch to basketball now, so we gonna hope Marcus get on. But you got any last remarks about football?
Man, nah, man. We just got to find a way at the end of the way. At the end of the day, man, we got 2 games to kind of, you know, put your best product out there. We give ourselves too many chances. We shoot ourselves in the foot. So boils down to discipline and details. So at some point we figure it out, then we'll see some change and some turnaround, and we could stop all this doggone finger pointing. But until then, these fingers gonna keep coming, man. This is how it goes.
Man, it's crazy. It's crazy. But yes, we switched to basketball. You know, I'm happy to report that we're 2-0 in men's basketball. But hold on, but football started 3-0.
I mean, you know,
our first conference game is December 31st, so New Year's Eve. So and it's against Baylor, and they're preseason ranked number 5.
Okay.
So that's our first game. So we got about 7 games before we play Baylor. So we got time to work it out. You know, we talked about, I don't think B-Hawk would be happy today like he was last week with Osuni. He had 16 points in 17 minutes, still only had 4 rebounds. So B-Hawk, if you're listening, he didn't hear you last week.
So crash the board.
He got to crash the board. So he hasn't heard you yet this so far in the podcast. So we're gonna have to send this to Coach OJ and say, hey, let your team listen to this because we're talking about y'all. And, you know, so it's just he needs to do better. You know, he has to be a force. We need him to be a force. He gets his recognition preseason, and then, you know, we don't know where he showed up yet. So we want to make sure that he's out there doing this thing. But they are 2-0. So happy about that. You know, can't complain. Can't complain on a 2-0 start. Our women are also 2-0. Again, they were ranked 8th. So both our teams are doing well right now. You know, a win is a win, undefeated. You know, women are averaging 83 points a game. So I mean, it's like, out. Man, it's like that's what the men are averaging that too. And it's like, man, these ladies are out there doing their thing on the court every night, and trying to keep that ranking alive. But they're doing well, so we support them as well. But you know, it's hard to watch all the basketball games too for me, so I don't get a chance to catch them. And you know, and honestly, you know, fans out there, listeners out there, I haven't been really watching the preseason. It's just like preseason football. I look at these games as, you know, the warm-up games. I want to see the games that count. And so I've been waiting to see some of the games. I think we do play Villanova next, though, right? Is that our next game? Let me see.
Let's see. Milwaukee.
It's Milwaukee. Okay.
Yeah, we got Milwaukee, then Villanova.
Milwaukee, then Villanova. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, so I want to watch that Villanova. I mean, I like watching Villanova for sure. Because then we play North Dakota after that. But the St. John's game and the Villanova game coming up. I want to see what they do in those games against that competition from other conferences that are big conferences. So hopefully we can see what these boys are really made of. Marcus, you missed it. You missed it. I was talking about B Hawk wouldn't be happy because Osuni only had 4 rebounds in his 17 minutes with his 16 points. So we were talking about him needing to be a force. And
Marcus like, nah,
so, yeah.
bro.
Yeah, you gonna drink to that?
Yeah, the drink on that
one. you had to. I'm gonna pour one on that one too.
We got to show them some of the Dustin Ho videos.
But we just said we got to have OJ show this to the basketball team so that they can see what we're talking about. But maybe that puts some fire under him. But I said, he preseason got that the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar Award nomination and nod. And I think, sometimes, we put too much pressure on somebody at a young age when they have that. So I don't know what his deal is. I can't explain it. But he needs to be a force. We need him down as a force. And being a center, you playing that forward center, I know you got something to say.
It's the preseason. We just put up as a preseason.
So you're right. That's what we're talking about. December 31st, we play Baylor. That's our first conference game. We got 10 games versus top 25 teams. Our conference is stacked. When you look at, we have 5 teams in the top 25. So
the last 2 year national championship came from our conference.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we got some work. We got some work we got to do on this. But like I was saying, the Villanova game, the St. John's, I want to see how they play against those guys because they're in a different conference, and that's teams that they're going to see in the tournament. So I want to see how they look early in the season against teams like that, so then we can see as we get to the end of the season how they progress, how they advance. But I was saying honestly, I haven't seen most of the games because they, like I said, there are preseason games, and so I have not seen most of them, the 2 games so far.
I haven't seen much either outside of all the chatter across social media and whatnot. So I plan on making it up sooner than later, but all I hear is stats, and everybody's excited about all the points we're scoring and the other teams aren't. So
yeah, we are doubling up on teams. 83-49, I think was the 88-39, 80-43. So we putting up 80 points at least every game, the first 2 games, and we're keeping them under 45 so far. So again,
preseason.
See what? Preseason. Okay, preseason.
Yeah.
So let's so let me see. So I'm looking at some things. So their leading guard, 14.7 points. So that's leading scorer right now, 46% field goals versus ours, 18 points per game, 44, almost 45% field goal. Rebounds, 5.3 is their leading scored as a guard. So if a guard is out rebounding, Sonny, I'm just saying a guard can't out rebound you this game. Their guard is getting it. So that and our 4-man 8.5 a game. So we got that. And then from assists, 4 assists for us, and then 3.7 for them. So about the same. So kind of they got some players on there, but I don't think that we will have really much to worry about. But I will say they've had. I'm looking at their games here real quick. They put up 112, and their opponent scored 38 their last game. They put up 112. We lost Brent now. Big Play Curvey. He changed his name now. He must log into a different account because he now it's Big Play Curvey. When he was on a second ago, it wasn't Big Play on there. So now he's trying to mess with it. He jumped off to come back as Big Play. I hope he got a Superman outfit. Like he ripped the shirt off, got a Superman emblem on and stuff like that.
I would admit I watched some clips of my boy. He had that scoop and score down pat.
Hey, that's funny. Hey, I had to do what I could, man.
Oh man.
It bounced one way and he was like right there. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, so Big Play had to go to the phone because his laptop died. So I can tell he on his phone now because the laptop died.
My bad, man. I had to I was trying to push it. I was letting that thing work till it couldn't work no more, man. Battery died, so I had to use the old phone, man.
Hey, Three Beers Media, we need some new equipment. Do we have it in the budget for some new equipment and internet stipends? Can you supplement our internet? And what can we get? Man. We need a new sponsor. We got a new sponsor coming in January, and it ain't soon enough. We got some technical difficulties. So we working through it, but hopefully you cut all this that middle piece out, cut all that out because we lost one person after another. But we beat it.
Hey, we human, man. We human, man. You know what I'm saying? We human.
We here with y'all, man. This is the side of the store. We got Big Play Curvey, Marcus Spicer, and George Trice. We talked about what we can do these last two games, looking forward to the end of the season. We talked about our men's and women's basketball teams being 2-0, and we're looking forward to the conference play for the men on December 31st, New Year's Eve. So please, if you have two TVs, put your Big Six, New Year's Six on, and Iowa State men's basketball on at the same time. Go out and purchase your Revelton at Hy-Vee or your local liquor store, wherever you get your spirits at. Click, like, subscribe to the podcast on Spotify, on Anchor, on Apple, on Audible, wherever you get yours at. What y'all want to say to close it out?
Looking forward to a win, of course.
Yeah, preach.
But not to echo on the sad situation that we talked about with the Virginia football team. Just looking forward to a safe week, man. We just not trying to see anything like that occur. Just looking forward to everybody being healthy, families being healthy, family being happy, everyone living and being prosperous. Man, we got to get this world better some way, somehow, whichever way we can, and just build on that.
Yeah, man. Love on your people, man. Love on your people, because you never know. So take the time to mend any relationships you got out there, man, and let bygones be bygones and keep it pushing.
And if you are celebrating Thanksgiving, but you can't be with everybody you love, make sure you FaceTime them. Make sure you WhatsApp them. Reach out to them on that day. Be thankful for them being in your life, having them here. We talk about the UVA. I had a homegirl out in Toledo. Shout out to you, Alicia. One of her coworkers, 31 years old, was out at a conference for work, and she didn't show up to the conference for 2 days. Found her dead in her hotel room. I don't know the full story, but we're losing people left and right for different reasons, various reasons. So we gotta love people, and we gotta touch on people. And if the pandemic is still not called a pandemic anymore, but it's still something that's going on out there where we're not able to get back to a fully normal world yet. So whatever you can do to stay close and stay connected, do that. Because people need it. You don't know how much they need you. And sometimes they just need you to listen. And we all got stuff going on in our life. But, take some time to separate yourself from what you're going through and help somebody else out. They say if you can't help them, at least don't hurt them. But do what you can to help them. And that's what I got to say as we sign off on this today. Sorry for the technical difficulties. I hope y'all enjoy this episode. Again, send us what you like, what you need us to do better on. As Mike Wilbon would say, until next time, knuckleheads. Holla at you.
Yeah, it is.
All right, y'all. Revelton, 3 Beards. Peace.
Yes, sir.